What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another podcast. We're opening up another one to talk about our favorite team. And the season is finally officially over for the Arizona Cardinals. Not for the entirety of the NFL, but we're here to open up another podcast. Of course, I'm joined here by my good buddy, Mythic AZ. How are you doing today, man?
Doing fantastic on this Monday morning, man. Cannot complain. How are you feeling?
Yeah, not bad. Honestly, I'm happy the season's over. I'm happy where we're at in terms of draft. We got what we wanted to see, a competitive football game. And it came down to a Matt Prater kick, and it worked. It's funny because I'm not sure I'm not gonna say it was jinxed, but I was listening to it on the radio just because I was like doing some driving real quick because I was had to drop off my daughter before to kind of get all my reactions and stuff like that. And I remember I think it was Pash that ended up saying Matt Prater doesn't miss these kicks, misses it, but he missed another one as well. So it's crazy. But I mean, I'm not mad at it. At the grand scheme of things, the Arizona Cardinals are a 4-win team. But what are your thoughts or your initial reactions of, I guess, Cardinals versus Seahawks?
I genuinely don't think this game could have gone any better. Like, any better. You keep it competitive all game long. You play fantastic football. The run game looked great. James Conner piled on 150 yards, a touchdown. Kyler Murray was on point. Had a chance to win the game, and we missed it. And then on top of that, not only do we miss the kick, I mean, we had a chance to win it, but we stay at the number 4 pick, which gives us a chance for the guy that a lot of Cardinals fans still want. I think that's very apparent after the loss that a lot of people are team Marvin Harrison Jr. Or die right now. And that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, it's not Marvin Harrison or bust, but that is the number 1 guy that I want. But I don't think this game could have gone any better, just in terms of culture and everything. Like, we could have got blown out. But we didn't. We stayed competitive. It was a 1-point game, literally the closest it could have been besides a tie, which I don't even think we wanted because that would have catapulted us in the draft. So we're cool here. We're cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think when it comes down to it here, the Arizona Cardinals, I've watched all the press conferences from James Conner, Kyler, and JG, and they were all asked kind of the similar question in terms of like, what would this win have meant to you? And all of them were kind of like, it would have been a win, right? In the grand scheme of things, it would have been a win. It would be kind of cool to ride that, but in the grand scheme of things, the season's over, right? There's not really much to look forward to. It's on to 2024. So if that's like their mindset, then hey, that we all got to roll that way as well, because we've seen a very, very competitive game, and we're talking about 2 playoff teams. Now I get it that the Eagles are going through a downward spiral, and I love it. I love that they're going in a downward spiral, but like, we literally went toe to toe with 2 playoff teams. And people were like, you guys aren't going to win more than 2 games. Huh? We have 4 games. We'll take it. We'll take it in a heartbeat. Kyler Murray is what, 3 and
5. Could have been 4 and 4.
It should have been 4 and 4, but like we said earlier, right now we're just thinking about the draft. Right now we're just thinking about the offseason, and I think that's kind of the best mindset to have as a Cardinal fan heading into the 2024 season. Let me get to this quick super chat here from Michael. He says Prater for player of the game.
I wonder if they got a hit in, you know what I'm saying? They're just like, listen, Matt, we know you're not going to miss this kick. Just go ahead and, for the better sake of the future, just wide right.
Twice, dude. You don't see that from Matt Prater. That's the weird thing. Like, you don't see this from Matt Prater missing these kicks, and he missed them.
He missed 2.
Yeah,
crazy. You never see that. It's a little interesting, just a little bit. Can't complain.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing is with like Jonathan Gannon, like I've heard this comment before. I believe it was on the radio. He's never too high and never too low. And I think he still contains to remain his composure. Obviously BA, a very, 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 very over the top of guy. Loves to yell. Cliff Kingsbury and maybe Steve Wilkes, very, very low. But I feel like Jonathan Gannon's right that perfect middle. And there's no blame going around. There's no blame, and I think that's one of the most important things in terms of culture for this Cardinals versus Seahawks game. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's on to 2024. That's all I can think of.
Literally, just on to the next season. I feel like we know what we have here, what we have established. A lot of great things. And we just got to keep building.
Did I say 2024? Wait, what year are we?
I think we're 2024 right now.
We are, right?
Yes,
sir. So, yeah, I'm right.
2024. It doesn't even sound right, man.
It doesn't
Just
sound right.
it transitioned, and then I'm still stuck in 2023. And the first time I like looked at like I don't remember what it was. I think like my phone, and it was like 2024. I was like, what? I guess that's right. Like it just threw me off. Like I'm just not used to it. Still not used to it. Well, we're 8 days in, so it's trippy.
I'm gonna Google what year we're in.
It's trippy, man. It's
Yeah, we are 2024.
2024.
Yeah, I guess my mind was working, or my mouth was working, but my mind really wasn't catching up there. But yeah, we are 2024. Wow, crazy. Yeah, so on to 2024 here for the Arizona Cardinals. So super excited about that. Well, let's dive into it. Let's talk about the offseason. I don't think anyone really wants to talk about the Seahawks versus Cardinals anymore. It's kind of very apparent. It's weird that like our channels might be getting more views than the press conferences in the grand scheme of things. So, right? In terms of the fan base, it seems like they're kind of turned off. So let's dive into the offseason. I think that's what we're mostly excited about. We've talked a lot about the Chicago Bears because they're sitting at the first overall spot here in the NFL draft. And nothing's changed. The draft order is exactly the same in terms of 1 through 4. What are your thoughts here pertaining to Justin Fields? Do you think that the Chicago Bears will move off of Justin Fields?
I have no idea. The press conference that he just gave, like,
did you hear that?
I did. It's just up in the air too. Like he knows it. I mean, it's just like there's been I don't even know the word, like no confidence stilled into him from the head coach, the GM. No one's came out like Jonathan Gannon has for Kyler Murray. Like, yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy. Kind of shut it down. Like you've heard nothing.
Yeah,
not a single word. And the only thing we get is kind of that exit press game, whatever, because they're not in the playoffs either. So this is the last time Justin Fields is going to address the media. It was uncertain. He said, whether this is my last time or whatever he said, you guys have been great to me. So whether I'm back here next season or not, I appreciate all you guys. And it's like, dang, like, who knows, man? I mean, he piled on like 4 of his last 6. They were winning some games towards the end of the season, and it's still up in the air. I mean, the end of the day, you got to do your evaluation. It's Caleb Williams. You have the number 1 overall pick. Do you take a quarterback? Justin Fields has a losing record. So it's definitely a possibility. I'm not sure. Like, I'm really not. I thought I was confident in saying they were going to rock with Justin Fields, but
it's crazy.
I don't know.
It's crazy. Yeah, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and just do a real quick let me share with you guys what we're talking about. There was a press conference here from Justin Fields, and it almost kind of seems like it's his farewell. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's dive into it. Whoa, that's really low. 1 second here. All right, start it over.
You know what I did. I gave it my all. So whether it's here or not, I have no regrets. Shout out to you guys for making my job a little bit harder. But yeah, just to the city of Chicago, love y'all. Appreciate the fans and the support from all the Bears. In case this is my last rodeo with y'all, and just appreciate y'all for everything. So, yeah.
That doesn't sound like a confident man.
It doesn't sound too promising. It sounds like he genuinely has no clue. Like it's just like whatever. Like whatever happens, I guess. Like here we go. Like I'm gonna do my due diligence, say thank you to y'all, and bounce. And I guess we'll see. I mean, he has no clue. Clearly, he wouldn't have said that if he had any idea.
It's crazy. So, like, let's say we live in a world here that the Arizona Cardinals, obviously sitting at the number 4 spot in the NFL draft, we might be seeing 3 quarterbacks off the board, whether it's Daniels, May, and Williams, and of course, who does that leave there for the Cardinals?
You know who that leaves? That leaves a little certain somebody that we have been preaching to come to the Cardinals.
Crazy, man. It might be real. It might be real. I do see a graphic here, and I think we do got to give some respect here to James Conner that you uploaded here. We got to give some shout outs here. Huge shout out here to James Conner and having a 1,000-yard season. What are your thoughts on James Conner and his future with the Cardinals?
The man played 13 games, eclipsed 1,000 yards and like 7 touchdowns. Just insane season. 3 yards a carry. Had one of his best seasons at like 27, 28 years old. It just looks like he's getting better. He looked explosive the past couple games. Just probably the quickest I've ever seen him in a Cardinals jersey.
Yeah.
The man is getting better. 1,000-yard season for the first time in his career. Just shout out to James Conner, man. Just love the game. story, fantastic. The fact he's even playing football right now is great. And this late into his career, eclipsing 1,000 yards is just incredible.
It's crazy that 2 weeks ago we were talking about our wide receivers, and now we're kind of glorifying the thought of Michael Wilson might be back. What are your thoughts on Michael Wilson and what he did over this last game?
I've always liked Michael Wilson. It's just I felt like there was no chemistry with him and Kyler. It felt like there was no connection. For whatever reason, they just couldn't get it clicking. And today you saw Kyler Murray kind of trust him like he did DeAndre Hopkins. I know it's not the comparison that I'm going to say, but like just the willingness to throw a one-on-one ball, the willingness to give him an opportunity to make a play. No one else on this team can really do that besides Trey McBride, who also caught a touchdown again. So love that. But Michael Wilson, he was just making big body catch after big body catch. On third down, he was the targeted receiver every single time, it felt like. Just Kyler Murray, it looks like he finally developed a trust level with Michael Wilson. And this is what we needed to see.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs didn't do it. Not a single time. He had the 2-touchdown game, but even then he wasn't throwing the 50-50 balls. This is what I was saying. You have a 6'3" receiver in Michael Wilson or whatever he is. I believe 6'3", 6'4". Trust him. If he can't make plays, then he's not going to be on the field. But like we saw him make plays here and there with Josh Dobbs at quarterback. We thought Kyler Murray was going to help transcend him. And this was kind of the first game that we saw Michael Wilson kind of elevate. This is what we need. This is what we need. If he can step up like this, I'm confident in saying Hollywood Brown can go.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. No, honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy the way that this season ended. Michael Wilson kind of coming back to light and people kind of forgetting about him because he's a rookie at the end of the day, but you need that big bodied guy. And you can never have too many of them. And I think he did a really, really good game. And he loves to jump up and get that ball. So definitely very, very huge for the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously we end up losing to the Seahawks by 1 point, but a lot of us kind of feel like it's a little weird, a little iffy. But we'll have to kind of wait and see how this all shakes out here in this offseason, because I think we're all pretty excited about the way the Cardinals are going to build this roster up. And Kyler and JG and James Conner all kind of echoed the same sentiment. The fact that, hey, on to 2024 and, move on, hopefully to greater, bigger, better things for the Arizona Cardinals. So
exactly.
Stoked.
Cannot complain.
Yeah. Let me take a look here real quick about a few things that I kind of wanted to dive into real quick. What are your thoughts here? We talk about this guy a lot, Rondale Moore. I'm looking at the snap counts, and it seems that Greg Dortch for the last 2 weeks has out-snapped Rondale Moore. This week was 67 Greg Dortch, 57% for Rondale Moore. Last week was 82% Greg Dortch to 66%. Do you think we're starting to see a shift for Greg Dortch to get a little bit more playing time? Obviously, we're seeing the last 2 weeks that seems to be the trend, but do you think we're kind of starting to phase out Rondale Moore? Because if we get another wide receiver, you better bet your bottom dollar that's going to be an odd man out.
Yeah, and it's probably Rondale. I think Rondale, I said this a long time ago, was a trade candidate going into the offseason. We don't really have a fit. I don't feel like he embodies like what we're building.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just seems like he's always the odd man out when he does get the ball. He's not a playmaker. Like when Greg Dortch gets the ball, he's making people miss. He's our punt returner. He's our kick returner. Like they trust Greg Dortch with the ball in their hands more than they do Rondale Moore. Otherwise, they'd have Rondale Moore back there returning kicks because he's explosive, speedy, and does the same thing. They want the best playmaker to go get the ball and make a play. And that, in their eyes, is Greg Dortch. Otherwise, he wouldn't be back there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like Greg Dortch is over Moore at this point, and the snap count speaks for itself. But on top of that, you just see Greg Dortch making plays way more than Rondale Moore has. And this is like the first time Rondale Moore has genuinely been healthy, and the production just wasn't there.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate. It's definitely something that I hate that like it takes us this long to really kind of figure it out. But I'm glad that this coaching staff's starting to kind of realize it. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you really have no other option. You kind of have to play him because of our wide receiving core and what we have. Michael Wilson obviously stood. I like what he can do. Hopefully he can continue his progress. I've always liked Greg Dortch. In the beginning, when people ask, well, how come I'm not advocating for Greg Dortch as much, as I was like, well, maybe he just doesn't fit in this offense. Maybe it was just like the Cliff Kingsbury offense that he flourished in. But once he actually got the opportunity, I was wrong. Well, whatever offense he's in, just give him the opportunity and he will get the ball and try to be a playmaker as much as he possibly can. So, yeah, we'll see. We saw a little Zach Pascal, but this guy was just a signing that I felt like just happened. This man made nothing.
Guy.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing for the Cardinals.
Not at all. I felt like he was worse than I could have even expected. It felt like he was making negative play after negative play, if
Yeah.
anything. Like he came in the game, the ball went through his hands 2 times. I remember very vividly. He had like 2 touchdown opportunities and they just right through his hands. Right through his hands. And given the game is over, but literally wide open catch through his hands. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like you just can't make it up. You can't make it up. Dak Pascal might have been the worst signing because you're white. Fantastic. So hit and misses. Hits and misses.
Do you think let me ask you a hard question here, and this is kind of going back to the trade deadline. Do you think the Arizona Cardinals missed and not trading away Hollywood Brown, or did you really truly feel like they actually felt they had something in him?
Hindsight's 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, going to what you have now, you'd probably trade him.
Yeah.
That's hindsight. But you can't do that. You can't go back. You can't rewind what you know now. Hollywood looked great in the beginning of the season. So it was tough going then to be like, okay, let's just move off him. Michael Wilson's going to step up. Trey McBride is going to step up. This was like before Trey McBride had this like emergence to dominance. Maybe he had like 1 or 2 games, but it wasn't like consistent with that we kind of saw post trade deadline. I don't even know if he was getting like legitimate snaps at that time. Like we'd have to go back and look at that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like we didn't have a clear direction. So it's tough to go back, but yes, if we knew what we know now, Hollywood Brown would have been traded for sure.
I mean, I feel like we could have snubbed the Carolina Panthers, man. They were in desperate need to revive this career, or not career, but this season for Bryce Young. And I feel like that would be the perfect trade candidate for the Arizona Cardinals to ship him off. And I think there's a lot more attachment because of K1 with Hollywood. I think the Cardinals missed a real big opportunity. They really missed it, because if he doesn't get back, then we kind of miss out, right? And then kind of the same thing with Zach Ertz, but like Zach Ertz still hasn't signed with anybody at all. So I mean, that kind of goes to show that, you know, maybe there was just no trade value for a Zach Ertz because of the injury and the age and his contract and what he had. So that one I don't blame Monty so much for, but I really wish that we can learn from these little mistakes that hopefully can make us better. Like no tampering, guys. And then maybe looking kind of ahead, because I think we could all have predicted that this season really wasn't going to be the best. But I get it. I think we were trying to put Kyler Murray in the best position to win. And Hollywood just didn't give us any value at all.
I agree. So I got 2 questions
that
I'm going to ask you real quick. And people in the chat, I want you guys to dive into. One, do you think Zach Ertz ends up signing anywhere before the playoffs? I mean, Sam Laporta just went down. Detroit Lions might be in need for a tight end. The injury hasn't been disclosed yet. Playoffs are about to ramp up. Do you think Detroit ends up signing him? And then the second question is, I've seen Budda Baker clap back at like 5 different people on Twitter talking about his season and how he didn't deserve to make the Pro Bowl and that Budda Baker didn't have his best season, that we should have traded him at the deadline. Do you think that was another potential miss at the deadline with Budda Baker? Because we heard teams like the Philadelphia Eagles and rumors.
Those are great questions. Let me address the first one first. I before you said the Lions, because I completely forgot Laporta went down. It really just depends on what happens with Laporta. Like, I mean, if he got carted away, it's not a good look, right? He can get sacked. I think if they were smart, Zach Ertz still has it, in my opinion. And I don't mean like top 5, top tight end, but like if you're looking for a guy that's a playmaker, Zach Ertz is still going to be the guy for you. Especially if you're going to be going against the Rams, because I think that's going to be the matchup. That's going to be really exciting. Jared Goff, playing his old forward team. It's going to be a really cool game to watch. So I hope he does get signed, just kind of as a Zach Ertz person fan. I hope he does. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised, just because of the age and maybe what he might want. But to address the other one, I don't know. Always felt like Budda Baker has always been the best asset we had if we wanted to collect some sort of, I guess some draft capital back. But like Budda Baker's always been that guy to me in the defensive side of the ball. That was like, he's kind of like, I don't want anybody to touch him. He's good. We're good there. I get where some fans would come from. I don't touch the whole Pro Bowl thing. To me, I mean, I'm glad that he's defending himself, but I mean, I really have no comment on that. But no, I'm happy we didn't trade Budda. I think he's a great locker room guy.
I agree. I feel like it goes more into stats, and once it's beefed up, he's going to have a way better season next year. Obviously, he dropped the pick yesterday and was very upset because obviously he wanted that just to show people like F off.
Yeah.
Like I'm still him. Like I can make plays. Like get off my nuts, basically. But like, I mean, I feel like Buda Baker just embodies Arizona culture. Like genuinely, I feel like he does, and everything this team needs in just terms of a locker room guy, just number one leader that you could probably have. People want him to be like a Larry Fitzgerald. Like people have made it very clear that like people want Buda Baker here long term. And I'm kind of one of those guys. As long as his play is up to par, I want Buda Baker to be a reason the Cardinals end up winning a Super Bowl. Like genuinely, I do. I want Buda Baker to be one of those cornerstone guys.
I agree. Buda Baker, like we don't talk about Tyrann Mathieu very much, but like because Buda Baker literally came a year after, or maybe a couple years.
He was
after.
on the team with Tyrann Mathieu. He was just a backup, I believe, and then I believe he was on the Pro Bowl as a special teams player.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we did. Confirm that. Actually, I don't know because I don't think he was. I think literally we got him the year after in a second pick, if I'm not mistaken, because I think Tyrann ended up going to a different team, and I believe it was the Texans first, if I'm not mistaken. So. Let me know. Yeah, do your research.
So Tyrann and Buda did play together because this is when Buda was wearing number 36.
They did play together, really?
Yeah, I'll pull up a picture real quick.
All right, cool.
They played with Chandler Jones too, who's gone berserk recently. So let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Yeah, they played together. Oh, I just uploaded the wrong thing. It's kind of like a fever dream having them together because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Buda Baker made the Pro Bowl as a special teams player first, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I feel like that sounds right. And then Tyrann Mathieu is just like the all-pro. We had him paired with Pat P, Chandler Jones, I believe Calais Campbell for 1 year, if I'm not mistaken.
Mathieu. I wish we. Oh, so basically, kind of going back while you're looking that up, going back to kind of what I was talking about. Buda Baker is that guy for Cardinal fans, like kind of like the Larry Fitzgerald type of guy, where you don't have any worry in the world about having some sort of a need in the safety position. But I think you might be right. Yeah. So Cardinals 2013 to 2017, the Houston Texans to 2018. And then we drafted. Wait, is that Buda? That's not Buda.
Yeah, I'll show you another picture. This one's more clear.
Okay, cool.
It looks like just any Madden created player right
there. It does. It really does.
It literally just looks like anybody else. So I agree. I was looking for this one right here. This one has Chandler Jones in it too, and Tyrann Mathieu. And then I'm going to go confirm real quick, or if you want to go look that up and see if Buda made the Pro Bowl as a special teams player first. I believe he made it like 2017 with Tyrann Mathieu on the team, if I'm not mistaken, before he came into his own. So Buda Baker's always kind of just earned it because he sat behind one of the best safeties, and Tyrann Mathieu's still balling out. He's just in New Orleans where not a lot is getting talked about right now.
Right.
But here it is.
Yeah.
Buda, Tyrann, Chandler Jones. Crazy.
That's crazy.
I believe it was for one season, but
we did have them. Yeah, it had to be. No, you're right. Oh, snap. Okay, well, I guess that will made it a seamless transition, and I guess that's what kind of makes sense where Buda Baker just kind of came in and filled that role, that Tyrann. But interesting. I didn't know that. I literally thought it was 1 year apart. Okay, I was wrong. All right, good to know. But going back to what you said, no. I'm glad he wasn't traded.
Yeah, I agree. You could probably get a crap ton of value, but because Philadelphia needed help, like bad.
Oh, Philly's going through a spiral right now.
So I was saying if Philly was willing to fork over like a first round pick or like a second round pick, like a player, then sure, we'll entertain it. We definitely need it. We need picks, and if we can build young, then that's probably the move. But Buda Baker just embodies Arizona culture, everything we need. Locker room guy, perfect. Keep him.
So the whole Chandler Jones, I'm not sure if you follow that storyline. That's really sad.
Have. It is.
It's very sad. And it's Chandler Jones to me, when we got him, such a great person. And it's sad and it sucks to see how it just shifted and it just it's very unfortunate. I still have my Chandler Jones jersey, one of my favorite jerseys that I have. It's unfortunate.
Sucks, man. I mean, he was balling in Arizona. Just a guy that you probably would have saw in the Ring of Honor. I
Yeah.
don't know what is going to happen with that. I really don't. Like, do you just separate that at the end of the day? Because you separate career from whatever. Is it going to be something that happens after like a long, long time? I'm not sure. Like, it's tough.
It's Fitzgerald to that's who I want to see in the Ring of Honor.
Where is Fitz's Ring of Honor ceremony?
Or statue. Give me a statue.
Where is it? Give us a dang statue. That's correct.
I don't know. Somebody did say that because he didn't technically retire, so they technically can. I was like, okay, yes, that makes sense. But like, I feel like there should be some sort of exception, like because
it's been like, 3 years. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, hasn't played in a while.
Like, I don't think you need to retire at that point. Like,
I know it's kind of a given at that point, right?
He's not coming back. Like, I even had like a tribute video and everything ready for like a year, and I'm like, I'm just gonna hold off just in case we like make a playoff run or whatever, and this man like signs because I'm delusional and I want to see Larry Fitzgerald win a ring. We sucked. He didn't come back. He didn't go for another team, which he hasn't done his whole career. So why would he? I mean, Tom Brady tried to get him to go play in New England, and that didn't work.
Yeah.
Why is he gonna go play with anybody else?
Yeah.
He didn't go play with the greatest quarterback of all time. He's not going to go play for anybody else. So where is his ring ceremony? He's not going anywhere. He's not going to go sign it 40 years old or 41 and go play for somebody. He's not going to go ring chase. Induct him. Man. Induct him now. Michael Bidwell. Do it.
That's a big, if it doesn't happen this next year, and I've been saying that every year since he's not been here, that's a big miss for Michael Bidwell, man. Just like you got to do something, at least honor the guy. I don't know, man. This guy's done everything as loyalty as you possibly can. And it's crazy that we haven't done anything for Larry Fitzgerald, but let's continue to talk about draft. You have something here that we both kind of was brought to our attention in the Twitter world. Somebody ended up tagging us in the whole Marvin Harrison Jr. Do you want to go ahead and let the people in the chat know what's going on?
Oh, absolutely. If you guys haven't seen it, we deep dive into everything. And I didn't find this. He didn't find it. We got tagged in something on Twitter last night. We were DMing back and forth about potentially going live. And this is what we get tagged in literally mid-conversation. Is Marvin Harrison Jr.'s Twitter likes. I had to confirm this because I was like, there's no way. This is probably Photoshop.
Me too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No. Legitimate. If you guys want to go check it out, I have screenshots as well. Like, this is legit. He did like this. I don't know if it's still like it. Probably still is. Marvin Harrison liked the NFL's official tweet. The kick is wide right, and the Seahawks end the season on a high note. Cardinals lose. Basically, he's aware, right? I mean, it's an interesting like because I'm sure he's very aware of the draft board.
Oh yeah,
just very, very aware of what's going on right now, and didn't like another team's loss or playoff eliminated or anything. This is it. And let me go ahead and double check real quick just to make sure this is the last thing he liked. It is. So if you guys want to go check it out, it is still there. Crazy. Like,
it is.
I mean, it's just like you can't get me rallied up like this because I've already been on the hype train, and then the guy himself literally likes it, basically insinuating that he kind of like is aware that this is a potential landing spot. Like, this is kind of where I want to go. He didn't like Chicago's, didn't like New England's, anything, like just us.
And that's the thing too, like I don't know, I would love to that would be the dream scenario where if and honestly we just heard the clip of Justin Fields, that it does not sound like he's going to go back, or there, like I know there's uncertainty, but like their general manager, and I know we had Swift Sports on here like a couple of weeks back, and he was super gung-ho about keeping Justin Fields. At the end of the day, it's not the fans' choice. It's a GM's choice, right? Who is he going to attach his legacy, his career to? And Justin Fields isn't his guy. It's not his guy. And you can't help but ignore the fact that Justin Fields has won 10 games in his 3-year career, 11 games in his.
I think it's 11.
You know what I mean? It's not good. It's
no.
3 seasons. You're going to expect to pay this guy? You can't. You probably just got to restart and do new, and maybe get Caleb Williams or Drake May, or whoever you feel like is the best choice for your team. But like, if we do truly see the Commanders also getting a quarterback and New England also getting a quarterback, that just leaves everybody in the draft board for the Cardinals, best wide receiver, best defensive tackle, best everybody. So it definitely gets us in a really good position kind of moving forward heading into April, obviously.
So if Marvin Harrison falls at 4, he's the guy for you.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he's
No
the
doubt.
guy for me, for sure. He's
No
been the
doubt.
guy
No
for
doubt.
me.
Yeah. We've said this before in a couple of weeks, right? I hate the fact that we're, I guess, pigeonholed, in the 4 spot, but like it's a good pigeonhole. It really, really is, because we've said this multiple times. We've talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Maybe the chance isn't there. Justin Fields starting to look good. Maybe they just want to rally around him and get some weapons for him in the grand scheme of things. But like, I don't know, man. It honestly starting to feel like what's going to happen is they're probably going to trade Justin Fields, because this is probably his highest value. You can get anything back for. Maybe not a first round, maybe a second, maybe a third, but whatever any team's going to be willing to give away, because they're not in the prime position to get a quarterback. So why not? Why not give an opportunity to a guy that has promise, right? That can run the ball very, very well. We'll see. I think he's probably going to move off.
I do too. I feel like Justin Fields to Atlanta is going to happen. I feel like it's match made in heaven. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have anything. Take a chance, take a flyer, and they're going to go end up getting something. They're going to pair Justin Fields with a new head coach that is going to probably get signed, and then make a trade for the quarterback. And then that's Justin Fields. And they're going to pair that with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. That's going to be a lethal offense, potentially. I still don't believe in Justin Fields as a passer. But if you compare him in a team where you have the opportunity to just dink and dunk. Yeah. You have a big body receiver, someone who was taken in the first round. That's probably the most ideal situation for Justin Fields. There are flashes here and there. I'm not sold entirely. Maybe a head coach is able to develop him fully and help him understand how to read defenses better and become a better passer, because it's definitely possible. He's still young.
Right.
A lot of people are quick to give up on people. I mean, there's definitely potential there. There's definitely potential. I'm not necessarily 100% in on him, but if I can get him for like a 4th round pick, sure. Why not? Let's take a flyer if I'm Atlanta. Why not? It doesn't hurt. Sure.
Yeah. No, I agree. And speaking of obviously head coaches, there was a couple firings around the NFL earlier this morning. I woke up with one eye open and there were already people getting fired because today is technically Black Monday. We're not talking about it because obviously we're not in the situation where we're worried about it. But Ron Rivera, Washington Commanders head coach, has been relieved of his duties, as well as Arthur Smith, right?
Arthur Smith got packed up last night.
Oh, was it last night?
He got packed up late last night.
And then the Panthers general manager got fired as well.
Scott
Fitterer, I believe.
Scott Fitterer? I thought it was, that's the owner I'm thinking of. The guy threw water.
Yeah, that's the owner. Yeah. So, hey, man, and there still might be more firings. You never know. Obviously, the Bill Belichick news has been buzzing around for quite some time. Who else? Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick won't address it. It says he's still under contract, and like he was just focused on the Jets game. Like, I don't know. I really don't know.
Is another name that's kind of getting thrown out there as well. But just because Vrabel has like some sort of connection with New England, head coach of the Titans. So like, it's man, these next couple of days are going to be wild. Let's see what happens here.
Vrabel shouldn't go anywhere, in my opinion. I feel like Vrabel just has been very handicapped. Like he's gotten this team to the playoffs and willed them with Ryan Tannehill. Like, come on. Like at some point, I don't know. You just gotta you gotta build. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's a good head coach, personally. Can get people to buy into him. And they're going to lose Derrick Henry. For sure, it seems like. Did you see Derrick Henry address the media after the game?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Or not even the media, the stadium.
The stadium.
He was like, thank you, guys. It's been an incredible career here. I hope I inspired, like, the young fans and everything. If I've ever heard a guaranteed goodbye, that is it. That is a guaranteed. It's been real, y'all. I'm out.
That sounds like Justin Fields to me. It almost kind of seems, obviously, Derrick Henry is a lot more apparent. He's going to dip, but like just the uncertainty around the way Justin Fields is talking about. Thank the fans. Appreciate you guys. Right. All right. I'm dipping.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's going to happen.
I do too. Where do you think Derrick Henry's going?
Ooh. That man still has it. I like Derrick Henry. We're in no position to get him here, but like
absolutely not.
Yeah. I don't know. Wherever he goes, I hope he continues just to kind of get his opportunity in terms of like a run heavy team. Because I would hate to see his talents get withered away, just like kind of like Zeke. Although maybe Zeke didn't have it fully, but like going to the Patriots is not the best way, man. That was just, it's kind of like Le'Veon Bell forcing his way out of the Steelers. He ruined his
And then
career
going to the
Jets.
Jets. Yeah, he did. He really did. You were playing behind one of the best lines where you could play your patient style of football and kind of get shifty on people and kind of just stay behind the line, make the read. You're playing with the Jets where you're getting smacked in the backfield and you have no opportunity to do that. He couldn't play a style of football, and that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
You have to be behind a good line for that. And Derrick Henry has been playing behind a pretty poor Tennessee line. So I kind of hope, just to revive his career a little bit, he goes and signs somewhere where he can kind of run behind. I'm going to throw some teams out.
Okay.
I want you to let me know yes or no in the Derrick Henry sweepstakes.
Okay.
So number one for me, if he got traded, was Baltimore. Is that realistic? Do you think he could end up in Baltimore, and do you like the fit?
I love the fit. I think Baltimore is a very, very good team. And I think they're literally a running back away from being very, very, very good and dangerous, because Lamar Jackson's playing like lights out, man. He's playing very, very good football right now. And I always felt like their running back position has always been bleak, because J.K. Dobbins has always been the guy that they always go to, but he's always hurt. He's always hurt.
Yeah.
So they have to like fill in with Justice Hill and Gus Edwards, which they're not bad players, but they're not like James Conner. Give me James Conner. Yeah, James Conner is the man. So like if you give him a Derrick Henry and a solidified running back, that team would be even more dangerous.
I agree. I think that fit is top tier. And then another team that kind of is in the similar boat of needing a running back and would kind of propel the offense is Buffalo. Do you think Buffalo goes out and makes a trade, get that power running back, and finally run the ball in the goal line?
Right. I think they like what they have in
James Cook.
Yeah, James Cook. Yeah, I really do. I think they like what they have in him, and I like him too. I just don't think that they were utilizing him to the best of his abilities, and like until like they fired Ken Dorsey. Like when the new offensive coordinator came in, that's when they started using him a lot more, like better. But I think they like what they have in James Cook, because believe it or not, they look at Josh Allen as kind of like a running type of guy, which they probably shouldn't, because quarterbacks, you need to protect them at all costs, but it almost feels like when he plays, he goes out there wilding, man.
Literally. And then a kind of wild card team that I'm looking at right now, like I don't know how realistic this is the Dallas Cowboys. Their run game is abysmal this season.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard doesn't look like a true number one running back, and he played his best football alongside Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
So do they go get another power back to try to replicate the same kind of dynamic that they had before in Derrick Henry? Do you think that is possible? Do you like the fit?
I just don't think he would be a Cowboy. Fit, no. I think Baltimore's the best.
Yeah, I feel like Baltimore is it.
If he wants to continue his career being dominant running back, I think you need to go somewhere that is going to utilize your skills to the best ability. And Harbaugh, man, I trust that guy in terms of allowing these players to be put in the best position available. I would trust Harbaugh over McCarthy any day of the week.
Oh, for sure. So. I think Baltimore's kind of the lock. I was just throwing teams out there that could use them. I think it's Baltimore, and then Justin Fields, Atlanta. I feel like those are like two teams that just like clear as day.
Yeah, as long as he stays out of the West, NFC West, I'm cool.
Let's not end up. I don't even know. Just stay away from everybody. He signs with the 49ers.
Oh, that would be that would not be fair, man.
1 year, $2 million. Man. Just look. Oh my gosh.
No, thank you.
Nope. I'm good. I'm good. You have literally the do it all running back, and then the like Christian McCaffrey can already power it in. And then you're like, you know what? Hey, Derek, come here. You get your 10 snaps a game.
Did you see him play versus the Jags? Man, the Jags, dude, what an unfortunate storyline for them.
Right.
The Jags were like number one for most of the season, and then they just took a crumbled. It almost kind of feels like the Cardinals, to be honest.
I promise you, I was just going to say that. It literally feels like Jacksonville is Arizona 2.0.
Yes. And the AFC, truly, I so feel bad for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because it feels like us. It feels like us on the NFC side. Like that kind of feels like a storyline where just replace the Cardinals name and all these articles, and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, damn, that sucks for them.
Literally, like it's just. Did you see what their admin put up on Twitter?
Mm-mm.
It was like, get your tickets now for the. I'll pull it up real quick. But it was basically get your tickets for the playoffs like 2 or 3, 4 weeks ago, I believe. Yeah, get your tickets for the playoffs. I got to figure it out where it is, but like,
that's funny.
you can't make it up, man.
That's funny.
That's also an Arizona Cardinal thing to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Calling it way too soon. Calling it way too soon. Wow, that's interesting, man. I'm happy the season's over. Honestly, we can now start focus on playoff football, which I'm really, really excited. I think we got some really good matchups coming up next week. So I'm super excited to sit down and watch some playoff football. But not just that, right? We got the combine in March. We got free agency in March. Super Bowl in February. And then obviously the draft in April. So there's a lot of draft talk coming our way and a lot of free agency talk coming our way as well. So what are your, I guess, your expectations for 2024 for the Arizona Cardinals now that we heard the report from Ian Rappaport come out over the weekend saying that the Cardinals' plan is to obviously build around Kyler Murray this offseason. So what are your expectations for 2024?
Perfect. I'll tap into that. But then here's the Jaguars thing. December 13th. Playoff tickets are on sale now. December 13th.
Brother. And that's ETN, huh?
Yeah.
Yikes. That's wild, man.
Brutal.
That's
but wild. Diving into the Cardinals in 2024, I guess it kind of it just still stems to what the draft and free agency looks like. Our schedule's tough. It did end up getting released, the opponents we're playing. It's a tough slate. But I still feel like the Cardinals, anything less than 7 wins is a bad year. And that's like the bare minimum for me is 7. If anything under 7, I'm going to be disappointed. If we finish with 7, I'll be like, it's a step. I don't think I'll be mad with 7, but I want to see more than that. Obviously, I want to see playoffs. I'm not going to say the expectations playoffs, just knowing where we're building this team from. But I definitely feel like 7 wins is like the bottom tier. We went 3-5 with Kyler Murray this year. Should have been 4-4. Yeah, it should have been 4-4. We should be even right now with Kyler Murray, and this is him coming off an ACL tear. So
that and learning a new offense, changing the way he plays his football since the beginning of his time, right? Shotgun primary time, and he's changing everything. So we got to give a little bit more wiggle room.
And he's figured it out. He's played fantastic football, especially in these last 3 games. And we kind of need to give him his flowers in that because he is learning new system, new footwork, new scheme, new style of football because he's been, like you said, shotgun heavy his entire career. I don't think he's played anything else besides that dating back to high school. It's always been shotgun.
Yeah.
Shotgun. Now he's under center, learning new footwork, learning where to throw the ball. Just the 3-step drop back. It's completely different. So I feel like Kyler Murray is going to take a step with the full offseason too, which people aren't giving the time of day. Is Kyler Murray's going to have a full offseason to learn this. It's not like he's thrown into the fire like he was this season. It's like, okay, you're going to learn it in season because he couldn't do it with an ACL tear. You know what I mean? He's not taking 3-step drop backs on that ACL that he is still iffy on.
You can learn mentally, but you have to do it physically to actually get it down. The groove, the chemistry, all that different stuff comes with actually doing it. I agree. To me, yeah, I agree. I mean, one thing that I think Cardinal fans that don't want Kyler Murray back should also realize that expectations is a lot more in 2024 compared to if we had a rookie quarterback. Let's call it like it is, right? Because we had 2 years, down years, right? One of them was the Cliff Kingsbury's era, and then the first year of Jonathan Gannon, which I believe both of them were 4-4, 4 wins each. So I think with Kyler Murray coming back, definitely I think expectations, like you said, right, 7 or more. Obviously, I think for me, it would be 8 or more. And that's just kind of like pulling hairs at that very moment. We're not talking about anything too drastically different at that very moment. But I think 8 or more, I feel like the Cardinals should at least be sniffing playoffs or at least be talking about it in the last few weeks heading into the end of 2024 season. Because if you have a franchise quarterback, I really do hope that Kyler can continue to make the steps that he's making. But this is going to be the 2024 regular season opponents heading into next year. So Bears, Lions, Patriots, Jets, Washington Commanders, Chargers, LA, and then obviously our division. And then those are the away games. Honestly, those home games, they don't look so bad, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. The Lions look to be dominant still. And I think that's going to be good. But like the Bears, if they have a rookie quarterback, W.
Right.
New England, they're going through a new coaching staff, W.
Right.
And then Jets, they're going through shambles. They might have Aaron Rodgers back, but they're the Jets. And then the Washington Commanders might getting a new quarterback. The Chargers, they're not that great. I like Justin Herbert, but like I don't think they're that great. I'm not really worried about them. And then obviously it's our division. The home games, we should at least have 3 games right there. At least.
I don't know what I saw because the thing I looked at did not have New England, Washington, or Carolina.
These are Dub Central, buddy. This is
I
Dub
don't know
Central.
where this came from, but yeah, this is a lot nicer.
The way is pretty tough. With the Buffalo is pretty tough.
I mean, just Buffalo, the Rams, obviously,
Yeah.
Dolphins, 49ers, but everything else is doable. Like all these, I don't hate this. I really don't. Chargers don't have a coach right now. Like we're playing the bottom 3 teams.
Yeah.
We're playing Washington, Patriots. We could be playing 3 rookie quarterbacks.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, we can. Bryce Young.
Am I crazy for saying 9 wins?
Miami.
Like, I don't want to get over myself, but like, am I crazy for saying 9 wins?
No, you're not. Yeah, dude, that's the 2024 opponents. Now, obviously, schedule's a big deal. Healthiness, it needs to be a big deal as well. Sorry, healthiness needs to be a big deal. In terms of James Conner needs to be healthy. Kyler Murray needs to be healthy throughout the year. But those are our opponents, yo. Those guys Dub Central for me. I'm ready to go. I'm excited for 2024.
I really am. I need to see free agency. I need to see the draft. I need to see it all, man. I am so ready. I am so like. Let's fast forward now to the draft. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Then let's fast forward to 2024. And then
look at my guy Jonathan here. He says there are 9 wins even before considering division games. I love it. I love it. That's expectation, buddy. Love
it. My. I promise you, I didn't see this schedule. Like I saw something completely different. I saw 2024 got leaked and I looked it up on Google and I didn't see this. Maybe it was a different year.
Mm-hmm.
Did not see New England, did not see Washington, did not see Carolina. And I'm sure you pulled this from like the Cardinals official Twitter. So
yeah, actually I pulled this from their Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 2024. I'm ready. Let's get this thing going, man. Let's get this thing going.
We're back, baby. We're back.
We might be. We really might be. Our strength of schedule this year was tough.
Yeah, no, it was. And that's the thing is, and we rolled a lot with Josh Dobbs too. Josh Dobbs gave us one win, and then Kyler Murray had to give us 3, and he was learning stuff. So expectations should be through the roof, at least for Cardinal. And I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm not saying Super Bowl or bust. I'm not crazy. I'm not delusional, but I do think that needs to be a big step, especially comes free agency and come draft. If we get Marvin Harrison Jr., our wide receiving core automatically gets upgraded.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then you just get not only a generational talent. I just posted a video about Marvin Harrison because this is like, I'm already excited. Yeah. But I just feel like not only is the person you're getting on the field, in my opinion, going to be generational, I feel like off the field, he carries himself very well. And in terms of somebody that can embody your culture and kind of buy in, and he's not going to just too ego, especially a receiver. Ego is up there. You can tell very clear that when people don't get the ball, they're upset. Yeah. And it's Stephon Diggs. I'm not gonna shy away, but like someone like Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
Fantastic talent, one of the best receivers, probably top 5 right now.
Yeah.
Maybe top 6. It just depends how that fluctuates. Because you still got people like Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp and just like all these people. And I'm probably missing somebody. I just had a name in my head and it just floated. Tyreek Hill.
Jefferson.
Like Justin Jefferson is who I was thinking about. Like you have players. But like someone like Stephon Diggs, just ego-headed and just like if he doesn't get the ball, his brother comes out on Twitter and starts talking crap. And it's like, oh, is he going to leave us? Like, I feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. is kind of going to be Larry Fitzgerald Jr.
I mean, his dad
is literally Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, his dad played. I mean, he probably has already kind of that instilled in his mind in terms of like, just keep it in the locker room in the grand scheme of things. AJ Brown was very, very upset when we beat him. Not because we beat him, but just because of the downfall of the Eagles. And very, very upset, not with the media, but, just his comments and what he's been saying. And it really doesn't feel good for a locker room to have a leader like that too. Kind of already starting to ask questions pertaining to maybe your coaching staff, your quarterback. I don't know. It's wild. The good thing is we don't have to deal with any of that stuff, y'all. We don't have to deal with that stuff, which I'm happy about.
I feel like this culture shifted. Like in a 4-win season, I feel like our culture shifted. At the end of the season, after a loss in your final game and a 4-win year, you have people excited, looking forward to building this team. They see the potential internally. Yeah. Whether we see it as fans or not, I see it. Yeah. You see it. A lot of people in chat see it. A lot of people A lot of people in my comment section see it.
Yeah.
We are building something great. Other fans see it too. Like, oh, you guys have something. You guys got your quarterback. You guys got some building blocks with 2 first-round picks. You guys can make noise. And I am looking forward to seeing what we do. And if we do land Marvin Harrison, that just solidifies a big need. Big need.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood Brown, maybe we bring him back on like a 1 year, $10 million deal. 8 year, like, I don't even know, 1 year, $8 million. If we can just bring him in on something, cool. I'm perfect with that. And then we have Trey McBride, just building blocks. And then not only that, we got the money on. We got the money.
We do. My concern is if we do bring back Hollywood, and if we do, we do. Okay, it's not a big deal. But if we do, I feel like it's going to stunt the growth. If we bring back Hollywood and we draft Marvin Harrison, I feel like it's going to stunt the growth of a Michael Wilson. I feel like he won't get the opportunity as much because I don't see him playing slot. I don't see him playing unless Hollywood does that. Unless Hollywood somehow moves to the slot, which I don't see that either. But like I don't know. I kind of want to start over. Give me a wide receiver, top wide receiver in the draft. Give me Michael Wilson back. Give me Greg Dortch in the slot. That's what I would love to see. And then obviously Trey McBride up the middle. That's what I would love to see. And then James Conner being James Conner. So
forgot about him. I can't do that, man. James Conner's him.
Yeah. So it's we'll see. Big shout out to JSEC to stop saying generational. But that's the thing. Like, I mean, we hear these things and we kind of have to believe it because it's not that we have to believe it. We see it with our own eyes, right? We're talking about a wide receiver that has crazy numbers.
I've never called a prospect generational. Like, people throw Caleb Williams generational out there, and I kind of like echo it as like downplaying it, not calling him generational. I don't feel like Caleb Williams is generational like that. I feel like he'll be a solid quarterback potentially. Still has a lot of growth to do, and it's hard to like Josh Allen, for example. Who would have thought Josh Allen was going to be what he is right now? He coming out of Wyoming wasn't looked at as this guy. That's just a developmental thing. Josh Allen developed into this. Like, he had all the tools, and this is kind of like Josh Allen's the prototype. Like the big, tall quarterback who can sling it and had accuracy issues and kind of put it together later on in his career. And you just kind of banked on the potential. So Caleb Williams struggles under duress, struggles under pressure. And there's a lot of things to be desired with Caleb Williams because he has the arm talent for sure. So maybe it's something like that. Like, I don't know. Like maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But like right now, Caleb Williams, the prospect, like I could do without personally. Could he be generational? Possibly. He could be that guy. And I could be wrong because coming out, Josh Allen, I probably wouldn't have said he would have been fantastic. Like, it's a project. It's a project. Do you want a project number 1 quarterback or do you want a for sure talent? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like Caleb Williams is a project. So I don't know. It's tough. But man, Marvin Harrison, I'm seeing with my eyes. I haven't seen this in a long time where I've been so sure on a prospect. I think the last time I didn't even think CeeDee Lamb was necessarily generational, but I thought he was like a for sure grab. Like, you need to get CeeDee Lamb. He's going to be very, very freaking good for this team. And look at what he's doing in Dallas. Look at what he's doing. Sensational season. Sick to my stomach every time I hear the name. Every time I see him make a highlight play, I'm like, dang. Cardinals. Same with Derek Stingley. Cardinals.
I
can't.
What's crazy, 2018 had so many quarterbacks that were taken, and Josh Rosen being one of them. And when I was talking about Josh Allen, probably being one of the best quarterbacks taken out of that draft. And he wasn't the first one either. It's just Josh Rosen was, man, it's just miss after miss after miss. And I think that this is a good example of what people should really be looking at. Like, these draft picks matter. They matter. Yeah. And that's why when we get upset, it's not because we're trying to hate. It's because it probably wasn't a good fit. But I mean, the jury's out right now. It's not, the jury's not out quite yet, but it's getting very close for Zaven. We see him every once in a while. Rondale Moore, I think people are a lot of starting to turn on Rondale, but like Zaven, which I don't think there's nothing negative personally to say about Zaven. I think he's a wonderful, funny, cool person. I just don't know if he's going to be the future. And I mean, not next year. He's going to be here obviously next year, but like the future. You know what I mean? I don't know if Zaven's going to be able to make a big impact to solidify himself as a Cardinal. And if it doesn't happen, another miss from the Cardinals.
Is Zaven going to be here next year? Is this his 5th year? Do they have an option to pick up?
I think Zaven was drafted. How come I can't? So Zaven.
Maybe this is his 4th year.
I think this might be his 4th year. Yeah, so he was picked up on the 2021 draft. So 2021.
Okay. So that was the Marco Wilson draft.
So
okay.
1, 2, 3. And then his is going to be his 4th year. So we're going to make a decision if a 5th year option is going to be a thing next year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same thing where we went through with Isaiah Simmons, where like I remember in the beginning where it was like, we're not going to pick up Isaiah Simmons' 5th year option. Whoa, what's crazy? Damn. And then now look, right, we traded him away and he's with New York. And I think New York is still cool with them, but like, is he going to be a future with them? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think he's done too much.
I don't think he's done enough to get paid. Maybe a minimum deal. I don't know.
Do you think? I'm taking this here from Ian, but I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before. I think you might have talked about this. Do you see a world where Zaven should get moved back to middle linebacker alongside with Kazir White and maybe learning from Kazir? I get it. It's instinctual, right? You need to have instincts to play that position, but like maybe you can learn a tip or two and be moved back there with
I feel
like
the best.
I'm sorry, not Zaven. I apologize. Kazir White.
With Kazir, I feel like the best fit is for him at middle linebacker. I feel like his skill set doesn't translate to outside linebacker. We're in a scheme where your outside linebackers need to be edge rushers, and we have some of those already. We have Dennis Gardick, who, when given opportunity, has been pretty good. And we have BJ Ojolari, who we want to get more snaps. Cam Thomas. Like, we have players that Zaven Collins is behind, and his snap count's not going to be up there. And we do play with 2 middle linebackers on the field. Could Zaven Collins transition back? I'm not sure. I think it's the best fit for him personally. I don't feel like his skill set necessarily translates to outside linebacker as much as it does inside linebacker. I feel like it's just on him, man. It's really on him and whether he figures it out or not. Like, it really is. He just has to put it together. I don't know if that's going to happen because, like, Zaven Collins has made – like, he'll make a play one in every, like, 6 games, it feels like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he still exists. Like,
I forget about him.
Football. Like, oh, that's cool. And people say, like, oh, there's more to football than what shows up on the stats, like Budda Baker, for example. Like, I get it. Like, Zaven Collins can set edges and stuff, but, like, you saw it yesterday where he overran a block and allowed Geno Smith to roll out completely and rush for, like, 20 yards.
Yeah.
So Zaven Collins just hasn't put it together, whether it's in coverage in his first couple seasons where that was supposed to be a strong suit. Him and Isaiah Simmons were supposed to come in here and just lock up tight ends because we couldn't guard them for jack. And then just for them to just pile it on. And then it seems like we're stuck in the same situation. Like, oh, we took both these guys in the first rounds to help stop that. And we're still getting dominated. It just sucks, man. Like, it does. Like, Zaven Collins just feels like there's just no fit for him. It really does. It feels like there's no fit, and it's kind of like Rondale Moore. He's just getting pushed and pushed and pushed back and back and back, and it's a matter of time before he is out of here.
I agree. No, I agree, man. We'll have to kind of wait and see. I think that's one of the most intriguing things about this offseason to see what happens, who stays. I'm not saying Zaven's not going to stay or not going to. He has one more year, so the smart thing is to keep him. But I mean, like, what happens with him, right? Well, what's going to happen? So, let's close up shop. We are hitting the hour mark here. This is your guys' first time on this live stream. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. The NFL season for the Cardinals is officially over and ended yesterday with the loss by the Seattle Seahawks, losing 21-20. But not all is bad. We had the 4th overall pick. The 4th overall pick.
4th overall selection.
Yeah, in the NFL draft, heading into the 2024 draft, and then we have the 21st overall pick from the Texans. So we're all hoping the Texans are a one and done out of the playoffs. Fingers crossed.
They can't win. Cannot win. So everybody, Cardinals fans, who do they play? The Browns. We are Browns fans.
Oh yeah,
Sunday or Saturday. We are rooting heavy because I believe they can. 21 is the worst they can get.
Yeah.
So we need that. We need them to be one and done. If they rally on and make it to like the AFC Championship, then of course, man, it was projected top 2, top 3 pick, and then
and here we are
at 21 minimum. So, and it's not done. So
yeah,
we're Browns fans. Joe Flacco, turn us up.
It's pretty much, yeah. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. We're gonna close up shop. If you guys haven't already, smack the like button. Definitely do us that huge favor. Smack it up. Do it for the algorithm. Also, subscribe it up. On the road to 2K. We got a long way to go, but we're gonna start that right now. Appreciate you guys
Absolutely.
here for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day. Now, go Cards.